I'm now approaching Midsomer Norton station. I'm about a mile into that 7-mile climb up to the summit on the Mendips. It's actually quite hard work cycling up here, and you start to get an idea of just how fast it's climbing. That's looking down on Midsomer Norton, and right in front of you, what a lot of people refer to as a volcano, is a bit of a clue to why there was a railway, well, several railways in this area. That's an old coal mining slag heap, spoil heap. These railways really were built for the extraction of coal, stone, local industries. That's why a lot of the stations were almost put in as an afterthought, really, why they're so often quite a long way away from the towns they were really supposed to be serving. So I'm just about to reach Midsomer Norton station. That is a heritage centre where there's tracks, and they actually run trains along the old Somerset and Dorset Railway at weekends and on special occasions. I've actually made a film about that before when they've actually run some steam trains, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. Today's purpose is really to explore the climb up to the summit, so 6 more miles to go. I'm now in Tunnel Lane, about to drop down into the small village of Chilcompton. The reason this is called Tunnel Lane is because I'm right on top of an old railway tunnel. Favourite spot of photographers down there to take pictures of trains coming through the tunnels. One of my favourite spots on the trailway, Chilcompton, a little village tucked away in East Mendips. Lovely waterfall here, and there's even a really nice friendly cafe in the village as well. Part way up quite a long grind out of Chilcompton. Even though I'm in shirt sleeves and shorts, the sweat's absolutely pouring off me, and the railway's actually above me, the course of it. It actually crossed this road. There's an old power pit there, and then it carries on along that embankment up and up and up, and it's going to run alongside, parallel, cut into a ledge alongside the main Radstock to Wells Road. Still got several miles climbing left to do up to the summit. So from Chilcompton, the railway headed towards the hill, and it seemed to be cut into a ledge that ran alongside the busy Radstock to Wells Road, which itself climbs quite steadily, and then just before the summit it veers underneath the road, does a sharp curve, and then heads out this way. There's a really well defined section of it now. It's a paddock, I believe. You can really see the course of the railway and the old fence post. One of the many pillboxes along it. You can see in the distance the Mendips transmitter. So in about quarter of a mile's time it's just about to head over the busy Bristol to Yeovil A37 road. So I've just left the course of the railway. I've detoured from Emburgh, and I'm heading on this minor road to avoid a busy road, actually, down into the village of Gurney Slade for a couple of reasons, really. There's some opportunities down there to get some water for my wild camp tonight, but also I just love this view here looking down into the Nettlebridge Valley. Don't know if you can see there's a transmitter up on that hill. That's a couple of 100 feet above where the railway crosses, so you can see it's still got a long way to go. So I've just left the village of Gurney Slade, where I managed to pick up some water, and I rode alongside the busy A37 for less than a quarter of a mile. I consider it much safer to ride along the pavement there, as long as you don't ride at lunatic speed. Doing a very steep climb up towards Binniger now, just past under the railway. So you start to really get an idea, grasp how high up we are. And there's pictures of steam trains actually having to be dug out because they got stranded up here in the snow. I'll edit a picture of one in when I do the final edit of this video. Now in the village of Binniger, very close to the summit. There's a bridge coming in there with the old railway, and once again one of the stations up there has been converted into a private residence. Like all of these, I'm pointing them out as points of interest. They really are private property, so it really is wise not to go any further than this. Binniger, the final half a mile or so up to the summit. This little stretch of grass here, I've always fancied camping there, and look, there's a new age traveller with their own horse there. Got the same idea. Finally, a very long drag up from Vinegar, but I'm near the summit. The trailway just ends over the brow of that hill, and so does the summit of the railway. It's just over that way. I'm going to detour over there soon and try another now and then photograph. So I'm now at the summit of my road route called the Somerset and Dorset Trailway. I've just passed under the last railway bridge before the summit of the old railway, and it's passed underneath a B road there. You may see a car just going by, and there's also some fence posts there which actually mark the course of it. 811 feet high. It's quite windy and exposed up here, and then it ran alongside that farm building there as it plunged down towards Shepton Mallet. We're at Masbury Summit, 811 feet up in the Mendips. It's quite a busy road this. So the railway, you can see there's some posts there marking the boundary of a cutting actually. It actually went underneath this road, under a bridge, and then carried on that way down that farm track, but again sunken down. It actually went through a very distinctive rock cutting. I'm now starting my road descent down towards Shepton Mallet to my destination of somewhere near Windsor Hill tunnels. So trains would have just crossed over the summit here. They're about to pass through Masbury station, which we're going to ride by in just a second. Trains coming up from Shepton Mallet would have just been over there, a couple of 100 yards in a deep field cutting. A bit like this really. Another station, another private dwelling. I understand the people who bought that a few years back are going to faithfully restore it to its original condition. Right next door, where some sidings used to be for a quarry, is a garden centre which just happens to have a cafe, which just happens to be my destination for my breakfast tomorrow morning. Now on the very long drop from Masbury down to the Sheppey Valley and the village of Croscombe. You can see the railway used to cut across here. There must have been a bridge and there's an embankment there, and my destination would actually be just about a quarter or half a mile along there, Windsor Hill tunnels, but the road doesn't run anywhere near it, so you've got to carry on down here, turn left on another road, left on another road, in effect do three sides of a square just to actually get half a mile that way. It's well worth it though, fantastic views down there, and the village of Croscombe in the Sheppey Valley is really nice as well. So I'm doing my drop down towards the village of Croscombe and the Sheppey Valley. You may see off to the right there, very iconic Glastonbury Tor. Fantastic views on this descent. Just descended into the village of Croscombe down a very steep through lane, and you really need to start applying your brakes when you see the 20-mile-an-hour sign, otherwise you're going to hit this right hand curve at a hell of a speed. In fact, I want to go this way along the left. Firstly, it avoids a little bit of the main road, and also there's a really nice waterfall down there I'm just going to go and have a look at. So I've just left the village of Croscombe and I've joined this main Wells to Shepton Mallet road. It can be quite busy at times. Once again, it's only a few hundred yards. I ride along the pavement. I consider that quite a safe thing to do. What's really nice here is this stunning little waterfall. So easy to drive by that and miss it. So, in just about 50 yards or so, I'll be turning left onto Windsor Hill Lane. That rises up again quite sharply as it heads towards Shepton Mallet in on a back road, and that's where my destination will be. Well, that's the shame. I came through these tunnels on foot about a year and a half ago, perfectly accessible. Now they've been gated up, so there's no way I'm going to trespass. It's a shame though. So I referred to it in my previous video where I explored them on foot. Originally it was single track, and the tunnel to my left, which I'm going to go and have a look at in a minute, was the original one, which had a slight curve in it, and very little of it was lined. It was mostly open limestone, and when they doubled the track they realised if they just veered off to the west slightly they could have a longer cutting but a shorter tunnel. I guess economic reasons, cheaper. So this one is dead straight, but half the length of the original one, and this eventually became the up line. The original one over there, the longer one with the curve, was the down line. So here's the northern portal of the original tunnel, which eventually became the down line when the track was doubled. This one's got a curve in it, and also the brickwork and the stonework originally only went in about 30 feet, and then most of it was bare limestone. Then it was patched up over the years as there were rockfalls. Oh, what a shame I can't get in there tonight. But I do respect the fact that it's either private property or it's considered dangerous. So just going to change my plans. There's quite a defined footpath that I was on to get down here, so I'm just going to backtrack on that, see where it leads, and then think of somewhere else to camp.